All right. All right, family. Let's get it. Let us get it. We're going to set things in motion. This is sure to be an excellent live experience for each and every one of you who are here. And for those of you who are in the future watching this is going to be one of those conversations that is going to save you years of time, thousands of dollars worth of money, and liberate you at the same time. Because we can separate the chaos and confusion. We could take the good out of what is confusing, so we're just left with what is useful. All right, so, all right, let me see if I can get my brother on here. It is time. All right, let's see. I'm still waiting for him to show up. Let me see. Maybe y'all can send him a few messages. He does know the time, so he should be here. Let's see. Do. I'm loving it. All right, here we go. Sending love. I received that love. Where is my brother? No. I'm waiting for Econ, eat to live, not to die. I'm hoping he shows up. I hope he's not scared. He has no reason to be scared. You know, I'm not gonna, although I did talk a lot of smack, y'all, I have no intention of trying to publicly shrink or shame anybody. You know, all I really want to do is I want to show, that when you think you know something is different than actually knowing something. Who's this? It's a big difference. You can't think that you know something and then proceed to tell the entire world, and sell them on something that is mostly placebo and in the long run can be very dangerous. Let's see here. Yeah, my brother ain't here yet. I don't know if y'all want to actually go to his page, Eat to Live, Not to Die, and maybe message him. Hold on, let me see if I can as well. Somebody else. Marie Antoinette. Okay, let's do it like this. Somebody's been asking to come in the live. I said, let's give him 10 minutes. Hola,
Hola,
how are you?
good.
Talk to me. You've been asking to get on the live, so I said, let me just open it up since he hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Well, I asked you about a certain question that you've addressed before because I remember when Sebi came out. Well, when I started learning about Sebi like 5 years ago, and he said something really important that like it rung out to me. He was talking about people from in different continents are supposed to eat certain things. We are like everybody's supposed to eat different things, right? Like white people eat what they're supposed to eat, black people are so, and this is not a racial, not at all, but it made a
Absolutely.
lot of it just made a lot of sense to me. And now that you're talking about the alkaline, like the truth, and you're right. I think I know a lot of things, but I haven't gotten any results. I also haven't like put a lot of stuff into practice. I do it half-ass, and half measures avail you nothing. So I'm very interested in knowing the truth about this. I mean, I know that we're electromagnetic beings, but here in Miami, Florida, and I was born here, what am I supposed to eat, because I see that I eat certain things and you know
So I'll put it this way, and I'll be opening up the community right after this live. It's a free community where everyone will be able to ask these questions. We'll be able to dive into them.
okay.
And there'll be some other things like courses that I have inside there, but I'm setting it up so everybody can learn exactly. Because one of the things that's that's changed since Dr. Sebi's been around that a lot of people don't pay attention to because it's in a world that's invisible. It's the things in the environment. We can't see the accumulation of the barium, the strontium, and the aluminum, the accumulation of the electromagnetic frequencies, the accumulation of the stress that is literally emanating out of everyone subconsciously. We don't see these things, but they impact us. And the two of the things that I would give you right now while we're on the live, waiting for, waiting for Econ to come on, is the two things that I see across the board. It doesn't matter if you are melanin recessive or you are melanin rich. The two things that are completely off, especially since people are listening to the alkaline, religion, it's, the first one. Everyone knows the first one. It's B vitamins or amino acids, B vitamins, and D3 and omega
I,
threes. So I
I
guess it's three.
take none, and I take none because I think I'm invincible. And on top of it, you said the most important thing. You've said it over and over and again, and it's 100%, because I can have a life coach come down on a white horse from heaven, and if I am not paying attention or redirecting my thoughts, because I eat my thoughts are food also. They're
They're
electric.
very, very alive.
It's like I still, I okay, have this pattern of thoughts and everything that if they have a lot of momentum, they'll take me, really far. And you already know where I'm going with this. So that's something that I really have to pay attention to, because
So
it's my biggest, it's my biggest, how do you say, enemy, my thoughts. And
here's what intuition is telling me to tell you. Um, have you downloaded the Inner Peace playlist yet?
I did a while ago, and I don't know why I can't find it. So I haven't found it again.
Just type in 13 peace on any 13, the number 13, and the word peace in any post that I made, and it'll be sent to you automatically. I want you to learn how to listen to that
All right.
and disappear from the world.
Okay.
Embrace the feeling so intensely that you're no longer in your head.
Okay.
Because I can tell I've been there too. I've been the person that for years, almost a whole decade, I've just engorged on information, stuffing my house with information, and it becomes like a hoarder house, right? We need to be able to organize those thoughts. And the only way that they're organized is through being still
Okay.
and being in a place of singularity where your feeling and your thinking is in one place. So do that. And we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with my brother. Where is he?
I really appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to address me.
All right.
Thanks.
One love. Talk soon.
Okay.
All right. So y'all, I think my brother is gonna, I don't know, he might be a no-show. This is wild. I really thought he would have shown up, especially if he felt like he was defending Dr. Sebi's legacy. This is the surprise. This is a surprise. And this is not a good look, actually. If he doesn't show up, that means he's intimidated, or he just knows he doesn't know and he doesn't want to be public about that. Huh. It's very telling. What are you saying? All of those who will be, I'm gonna open the community up after this live, so we're gonna see. The podcast, it's not the podcast, it's the class, but I have a whole bunch of stuff coming. Ooh, that's not good. I bought a guy from his wife, and it's sad, and he's not even turned up. Ooh, let me just get rid of that. All right. All right, let's do this then. I don't know. "12 minutes in, my brother hasn't shown up." Hola, Tori. How you feeling,
What's
sis?
up, family? Good.
Yeah, I'm low key a little disappointed. I'm very, 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 very disappointed. For the lateness. I know he's gonna show up. You know, at least I have the feeling he
I
can't not show up.
I I would be very disappointed as well if he doesn't show up. I figured we could maybe have a conversation to entertain people in the meantime too.
Hey, you know, that conversation that we had the last time, um, you know, it's on the YouTube, but we could always have that publicly. I think those are gems that if everyone had, you know, and you helped me, you know, in simplifying them so much, you know, it would help a lot of people, which is the goal.
Yeah, I guess for anybody watching, me and Mikael he has helped me with such discernment and understanding, like true perspective on what it means to be alkaline. Like he even posed so many questions to me, like, Tori, what is pH? Define pH for me. And I couldn't even come back with these answers, and I study detox, right? So I say all the time that Mikael should be training practitioners, because the fact that I can even be asking questions and have such a good perspective and have such a well-rounded understanding based after his answers, this type of conversation is so essential for all of us
Mm.
teaching you guys and with big platforms to be on the same page.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's the goal. I thank you for the flowers. I thank you so much for the flowers, sis. We gonna if he doesn't show up in the next 6 minutes, then we can have the conversation.
Okay.
Because what'll happen is everybody who came here looking for his response will be able to get the questions that were asked, and they can either blow up his timeline with it, or we can hire a bot and just have the bot ask the questions.
Oh
Right?
my,
Oh, I'm gonna, you know, for those of you who see my content, like I always show you guys before I open my eyes and open my mouth to speak in the camera. I always like to remove a lot of my ego, right? So that it can be a different emotion that's being sent to you. But I'm gonna start to be a little unfiltered because a lot of y'all don't see how much fun I have with this. And I think it's part of the fun, you know, the energy of me being able to be a little facetious, or, you know, to be a little playful, you know, jester, just a little bit. You know, I think that's the difference that makes everybody healthy. We tend to take everything too seriously, and we need to learn to just have fun, right? It's not about being perfect, it's about being better. None of us will ever be perfect. No matter how much information that you have, you are no man is an island. Everybody depends on people. We depend on relationships. So, you know, what we got? 2 minutes left. Yeah. Yeah, let's how do you remove your ego? Huh. Okay. Go ahead, Tori. Let me go ahead and grab something
how
so
do
I
we
can.
remove our ego? I think that honestly, I grasp onto things that make me like Mikael humbles me. My teachers humble me. It's like there are these things and like acknowledgement of what you don't know, where if you're stepping into a place, there's no way a single human knows everything. So why would you have ego?
It's too much mine. And you know, I'm gonna have to give credit to the person who helped me get over that. Lester Lovings. Y'all might not know who he is, but Lester Lovings is, I mean, out of all my teachers, and you know, I've studied a lot of them, you know, he just sat down with me and he just said, shut up. No, you think you know, but you don't know. And I appreciate him so much because he helped me understand things from the deepest levels going out. So people, you wanted to see what's going to help you get rid of your ego? Let me show you. Mother Nature,
Wow. We got a field trip.
right? So if you get out in nature and you reconnect with who you really are at the core, which is everything. And I know for a lot of y'all that might not make sense because we've been in our minds for so long, but you got to get out of your mind, right? And the best way to get out of your mind, a lot of people will tell you to meditate. A lot of people will say, hey, you know what? Um, Go on a retreat, become a yoga instructor, you know, go on a fast. But I'm gonna tell you, like Terrence McKenna said, you know, there's certain parts of you that can only be activated. I'm gonna do this very quickly. Once you understand what this is, once you understand what this is, and you reconnect with the whole mycelium network, you no longer give a shit about being right. you don't care about being better. You just go back to what you really are, and it's the essence of being. And in that space, whatever it is you think about, the information comes streaming into your mind, because you're no longer accessing information through your phone to download it through your brain. It's going straight into your brain. But you have to have some of the definitions. You have to have just some of the little pieces of information so you have a connection there. But that's the quickest way. That's the quickest way. Quick isn't always better, but I always recommend to people, go to your licensed practitioner, your doctor, and see if you can get some medically approved psilocybin therapy. So let's see.
Somebody
What's
said
the
that he posted. Someone said that he posted 13 minutes ago. That's tough.
damn? Well, how about this? I'm not gonna write him off yet.
Yeah.
Something might have happened, because a lot of his posts that he posts are just reposts of things that he's posted like a year and a half ago. So it could just be on autopilot. So he's not even looking at it. So, I'm not gonna throw him under the bus. He is not a coward. All right, he is not a coward. He speaks too much about truth. Maybe he got a little intimidated. I don't know. I mean, that was the point of talking a little bit of trash, but okay. Well, the questions that I wanted to present to him. What's up, Dragonfly? How you doing? The questions that I wanted to dive into is the ones that we dived into in the live, and I guess we can do that now, since it's about to be 20 minutes. Good God, man, what's wrong with you, brother? It's blazing out here. Let me come back in this nice, cool
You're in
environment.
ATL.
Huh?
ATL.
Yeah, just landed a few days ago.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do it like this. Anybody who has any questions, because I know there were a few people hit me up and they were like, yo, there's some questions that we keep asking him on his lives, and he just avoids. Right? He avoids, because you see, when you're dealing with religion, when you're presented with information that that debunks it or makes you question it, you have to ignore it. Kind of like how everybody during the time of COVID, those who took it because they were obedient to their government, versus those who question the iatrogenic illness death rate, and so they questioned their doctor's intelligence. They didn't take it. Those people had to ignore all the facts, and the entire world had to discredit all of the free speech formally by saying that was false information. Create fact checkers so that everyone can be reinforced to support the idea that the only thing that's true comes from the news reporters, right? In that same way, people who practice alkaline or anything that's imbalanced, they're going to ignore the things that shine light on the areas in which their practice falls short, right? And that's just what it is. Cognitive dissonance to the max. You only see what you want to see so that you can placebo yourself, but that only lasts for so long, right? So,
Well, let me ask you to start off. Let me ask you how you anticipated this conversation going. So, with the Sebi Alkaline stuff, right?
yeah.
Is your argument that healing ascends beyond the physical level and beyond food, so any diet approach doesn't even matter? Or are you coming from the argument of like fully debunking that physiological explanation or justification of alkaline?
So I wanted to redefine what alkaline means, because right now people follow a list like how the people in the days of Moses followed the writings on the tablet for the laws, the commandments. And alkaline means something that is able to donate ingredients that allow the body to create electricity. Specifically, the one that made me, gave me a knee-jerk reaction, I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can fish him into the live here, was when he said the leaf, the leaf loses its energy in 45 minutes after being plucked. He says, and then he used spirulina and moringa as example and said they're dead. And I think that word is almost trauma inducing for people. When you say, oh, don't eat the leaf, it's dead. Now when they go to the store and they're getting encapsulated things and they're getting dried powders, they have somebody in their subconscious mind saying, it's dead. You don't want that. And it's like, yo, that is horrible. That's just horrible to tell people because it's not true at all. So I wanted to get his definition of what he defined as energy. Because understanding what the definition is, we could be talking about the same thing, but if we define it differently, then we're not talking about the same thing. So, when he says a leaf is dead, I mean, the water is going to evaporate out the leaf. And then you apply heat to it, or you break it down, or you put it in some water, and the water is going to take the nutrients out of it. So I wanted to really just get it clear in everyone's mind that alkaline and the concept of things being dead or alive, dead or alive, everything is alive. Everything that is physical, my daughter's little Kindle thingy, the wall, my body, this, these mushrooms inside here. Everything that is physical is electric. Period. Everything. Different things have more levels of electrical potential because they have more water in them. And whenever you have water, you have a highway that's active with things that are going through it. And as they move, friction is created, vibrations are created, and now we have a larger Kirlian photography field, right? But at the end of the day, everything has a certain level of electricity, and everything is made from the raw ingredients that create life. Everything. Everything. That's why, you'll say, people will say, oh, that's acidic, or that animal is dead. But if you look up cordyceps mushroom benefits, you're going to see it's insanely beneficial. But the cordyceps is the carcass of a fungus that takes over a caterpillar's mind and explodes inside the caterpillar and then becomes, a statue like Lot's wife when she looked back at Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It literally is a dried, powderized carcass of a caterpillar, and it has insane benefits. Why? How can that be beneficial if it's something that's dead? Same thing with, you can look at anything. Everything has a benefit. You just need to understand what are those ingredients, what's inside of there. Is it useful for me? Do I need it? What do I need? Based upon the three golden things that we know: our environment, our individual lifestyles, and our genetics. That's it. So
what should people be focusing on instead of this concept of an acid alkaline chart and just falling on one side of the spectrum? What are the things that matter more?
So, and y'all, I did that live on that. The body is made up of 75% hydrogen and oxygen. Water. If you learn how to get your water down, which is the medium, it's the road which everything in your body travels, water. If you have good quality water and you have good quality breathing and you have good quality feeling, then you're going to live much longer than someone who eats one meal every 24 hours and that meal is alkaline to the max. It's the best, best raw food you could ever eat in your life. You will live longer than that person eating turkey ass and French fries. And you guys say, oh my gosh, he's lost his mind. Nah, man. My grandfather Otilio Concepcion Pagan. He lived to be 100 years old. He drank a cup of coffee with pet milk every day, and he ate a meal of white rice, beans, and some type of meat, whether it was chicken, whether it was fish, it was always some kind of meat. He lived to 100. My grandmother lived to 101, my grandma Lee. Oatmeal, the thing that the testicle eater Paul Saladino says is terrible, which it can be because of all the glyphosate. I mean, it's not about the diet, man. It's about how you live. So so with that being clear, I want people to understand that eating foods that have the least amount of chemicals are what's important. That is what's important. When people go and they start eating alkaline, what heals them isn't the food and the title of the alkalinity. It's the fact that they're now not eating a whole bunch of that toxic waste that they had before. That's really what it is. And with people who stay there for too long, they're going to be deficient in amino acids, which are actually the things that help enzymes be created in the body. I'm going to say that again. When you don't have protein or the right ratio of the 22 different proteins, amino acids in your body cannot manufacture the right enzymes that do all the work in your body. Nothing gets anywhere without the enzymes in your body. So when you don't have the right amount of amino acids and then you don't have the right amount of enzymes, it doesn't matter what you put in your body. Your body is not going to break it down. Right? This is part of the reason why even Steve Jobs, because Steve Jobs he did the whole mucusless diet. He did the whole fruits and vegetables and nuts. But no one let him in on epigenetics and how his body needed certain ingredients so that his pancreas could manufacture the right enzymes to not just break down food, but also repair itself. Right? Ashton Kutcher did try to do that diet when he was playing the role of Steve Jobs, with the movie role, when he was playing that character. And he started to get the same issues with his pancreas. So a billionaire, a savant, creative, died because he didn't know this information. Because if he did, even though there's a good chance that he probably just disappeared off the face of the earth and he's living somewhere in Tibet, maybe, there's still a slight chance, just like how people think Tupac is still alive, right? At the end of the day, we don't know, but what we do know for sure is the polar bear eats different food than the grizzly bear, because the polar bear is in a cold environment, and a cold environment upregulates certain enzymes and downregulates certain enzymes, which then tells you which food you can break down, right? The body is the most intelligent machine on earth. It is the most advanced piece of technology on earth. And everybody, based upon your lifestyle, your genes, and your environment, you have to put in those specific ingredients. If you don't know how to do that, then you have to learn. And we still have to dive into that bioresonance scanning. We got to dive into that. So when we dive into that, because I finished the group thanks to you. You referred the school app, which is, it's gamification is everything. For those of you who don't know, I am a big video game prompt, and I love video games. They open your imagination. They help you learn things if you learn how to study them. So please, that's what I wanted to share about the alkaline diet. There's so much other angles, and I know a lot of people have questions. So
I could keep going. Honestly, in preparation, in case something like this happens, I made a new friend recently that is super savvy. So I was firing questions at him yesterday just to see what the response was. So I kind of have an idea of what to potentially ask if the people don't have any questions right here.
So this one girl, I pinned her question. She said, the information you're talking about, is that something I can better understand when I read the protocols? And I understand, and Tori tells me this all the time. I'm working on simplifying what I say, because I know in order to understand everything that I'm saying, you have to have some definitions. It's like it's like trigonometry. You got to do pre-calculus before you do trigonometry. So I understand, and I'm working on that. I'm working on that, and I'm hopefully creating a team of people around me so we can get it. I can make their lives easier and just ship out their products, and then we could just do it. But yes, the protocols are designed to take what I know and I speak about freely and put it in words so that you can digest it at your own rate versus trying to grab onto these words that are fleeting, going in one in there and not the other, right? Tangible things are important. So, I mean, all the protocols are there. And when we get in the group, we'll talk about that. I'm going to launch that today. So,
Oh,
oh yeah.
good launch day, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I've been working.
Good.
That's a good strategy. He said, everyone rush to eat to live, and not to die, Paige. Rush to him. Bring him out. Bring him out.
For real. Oh, guys, I'm just taking a placeholder right now.
Yeah. Chelsea said, what's the best way to start a detox from the standard American diet?
Mm,
How about we do this? How about we both answer it? Because you'll get different things from different people. I
okay.
would say the best thing to do when you're starting to transition from the standard American diet is to two things. Stop snacking and try to eat all your food within a 5-hour window. Don't even change what you're eating yet. Just change the time that you eat. That's what I would say. Change the time that you eat and eat within a 5 to 6 hour window. And chew your food until it has no flavor. That's what I would say.
Wow. Okay. This is actually good because my perspective is different. So let's go. Let's get into it.
Run it. Run it.
So, being a female, I disagree that eating within a 5-hour window is beneficial for our fertility in the long term, especially at premenopause age. I believe that putting that 5-hour window as one of the primary steps allows people to restrict volume of food when most people need more nourishment. So that's my first comment on that. And then I would say if someone chewed their food plenty of times, I agree with that 100%. Learn how to chew your food and eat slowly. But then I would recommend in the morning when you first wake up, like change what you're putting in your body first thing. Have it be water, have it be tea, have it be like watermelon slices, have it be something that's going to help accelerate or ease the digestive system for the start of the day, because some people wake up starving, some people like don't have that metabolism hormone regulation. So that's where I would start. First thing in your stomach in the morning, regardless of the time, in my opinion, I would focus there, and then the rest of your day can just be whatever.
So you say start from, that's a good strategy too. That's a very good strategy. I think it just depends on the person. It just depends on the person, but I like that strategy too. You have them drink a whole bunch of water when they first wake up and switch. That's dope. Adrenochrome and a rape of animals? No. Yeah. That's that is not relevant to you living a happy, healthy life at all. That is mental masturbation. That is the result of taking in too much information. Just leave that alone. Oh my God, the moon is crashing into the earth. Enjoy your time.
Wow, that's like the exact example of what you're kind of getting at here, like the feelings as one of the pillars here.
Everything is energy, but not all positive. Energy is positive or negative based upon you choosing what it's going to be. Case in point, there are different people. As I come to Atlanta, I realize I'm coming to the gay capital of the world. A lot of people who come from where I'm from, St. Croix and the Virgin Islands, they'd be like, yeah, man, it's a bunch of batty man up there, man. They ain't cool, man. Me like that place. And you know what I say? I say, wow, wonderful. The ratio is even better for a heterosexual male here. It depends on how you look at it. Everything that comes to you is energy. You can either say, I'm going to look at this as a positive, or I'm going to look at this as a negative. All of the chaos that's happening on the world, let me just put it this way. All of the pain, the trauma, the drama, the pure anarchy that's happening in the world is the pressure that's squeezing people to make the decision. They're either going to comply or they're going to decide, I no longer want to participate. And so the more that gets intense, the more people will decide, you know what? I want to live with love. I want to be free. I'm going to treat others as I want myself to be treated. Or I'm just going to obey. I'm just going to live in fear. When fear is presented to us, we have a choice. We can either believe it or we can make a different selection. We always have a choice. God gave us free will, right? Shout out to Free Will Baptist, my foundation. But can either of you recommend breathing protocols? Chelsea, if you want to get the breathing down, just begin to practice. YouTube is your best friend. I have a lymphatic drainage protocol, and it just refers you back to some of the videos on YouTube while giving you the information on how to use it. But the ebook number 3, the ancient secrets of the master yogis, is the best book on breathing I have ever found. And so I give it. Because if you learn how to breathe through your nostril, breathe through your stomach, you can breathe in 100,000 different ways. Really endless when you think about number cadences. So don't overthink it. Matter of fact, you want to learn how to breathe? In your mind, go to the last time you went on a vacation and you put your feet back in your head, your hands about, your hands like this. Assume that posture physically and just breathe. You're going to notice how your breathing changes automatically. It's going to change. Your whole body's going to relax and your breathing is going to get slower, deeper. So, that's what I recommend for you. Now let's focus on, I'm hearing the ATL. Are you having anything? I've dreamed about doing a Jeju or a Spa Land day where all of us can get in a pyramid, maybe take a little microdose and breathe and focus on an emotion. Like, can you imagine having 15 people breathing in a room that's laid with silver and gold in a dome structure that when you say the tone, Om, the whole place starts to vibrate and reverberate. So I've been dreaming about that for about 5 years. And I might be able to do it this time around, especially since a good friend is getting ready to, a homie's getting ready to come to, what do you call that? Earn Your Leisure, the Earn Your Leisure conference. Get ready. So when she comes here, that would be something pretty cool. And then y'all could segue to go to her retreat space in Jamaica. Hint, hint, wink, wink. We label the energy. What other questions do you think we gotta tackle about the alkaline?
Okay. So let me ask you. I hit you up a little bit asking about hybrid foods, right? Is it possible for a hybrid food to be alkaline? Or because Sebi says it's GMO, it's automatically bad and made acidic?
So this is good. You just asked the best questions, Tori. Like I freaking love you. We're gonna figure this out.
That's why I'm here.
Thank you. So what makes a hybrid food is a food that's been transformed through soil modification or genetic modification. A hybrid food, all of our foods are hybrid. Let's just get that off the rip. All of the foods that we get, even the watermelon being as big and juicy and delicious as it is now, the watermelon is a hybrid. What Dr. Sebi really wanted to do, and he said this, right? And I had this pinned post on my page. He said, we selected the least harmful foods and we put them on a list and we titled them alkaline so that he could say the word alkaline and he have a list that backs up that is the ingredients to the word alkaline. But he would shift the list, family. Almonds used to be on the list until he figured out how they were processed, which would put a little bit of oil, they would either cook it with some type of oil or process it with some type of heavy metal. So he said, you know what? almonds are gone. Even the foods that are on the list that are labeled hybrid, if they are grown in soil that doesn't have good mineral diversity, they're not going to be beneficial. The only thing that's beneficial about the alkaline diet is the placebo of your belief, which is now probably being challenged. A lot of y'all have to get off of it. I'm telling you, because I haven't even begun to show you guys what I do in the gym and what I can do physically. And I'm going to. It's going to be so much fun. Because what it comes down to is drinking good water, consuming minerals, different varieties of minerals throughout the day, working the body out to get it into the state of autophagy, or the point where it now begins to eat the cells in your body that aren't as strong. It breaks them down. And then when you're hungry, feed. Feed. One time a day. You get to one meal a day. Before you take the one meal, you take a potion. What does that potion have? Different amino acids, maybe some pumpkin seed or some type of protein. You know, you want to take that with the omega-3s. I personally like to take, I prefer my salmon or cod liver oil in the capsules, or boom, inside the spoon. The spoon is just terribly grotesque. I'd rather just take the capsule. And when you do that, you will see your energy is going to be high, your muscles are going to respond, you're going to feel light. I can't even explain to y'all how much energy I have to be able to deal with everyone I deal with, still deal with my about to be 2-year-old baby girl. She's turning 2 tomorrow. And just all of the different variables, my energy is very high and I'm strong. If any, you know, I'm not going to take it there, but if anybody ever wanted to do anything, I think the marker of someone that's healthy is someone that's prepared for anything. So if I'm unable to carry my lady and my child and walk a mile, what's the point of being healthy? There is none. As a man, I have a different role. You know, as a woman, women have different roles too. But if you have a partner that isn't strong, then you have a liability. And strength on a physical level, strength on an emotional level, both of those things are connected. A lot of y'all listening to this are depressed and stressed, not just because you live in a mental asylum, you know, that you can turn into a paradise if you think positively. Not just because of that. It's because you're vitamin D3 deficient. You're vitamin D3 deficient, you're omega-3 deficient, your amino acids are low because you've been following the alkaline diet for so long, not incorporating some of the other amino acids that come from other sources that you need. And all of that contributes to your body being in a deficit. We have
Okay,
to
so
learn.
before you keep going,
Stop.
we gotta pause. We gotta pause and address some things. So,
Okay.
okay. You're saying, in my opinion, you're saying two things at one time right now.
Okay.
So we're talking about people being super alkaline or whatever, and then end up being deficient. And at the same time, you're talking about people getting down to one meal a day. Okay.
Mm.
Now, most people on this live, right? Most people are beginners. So
Okay.
when you're spewing advanced level stuff, and we're talking about one meal a day, that in someone's beginner level is a completely depleting act at this point in the phase of life. So that's the first thing I want to say.
Okay.
And then you would agree with what I'm saying, that somebody who's just taking it there should not even have that as a concept in their mind?
Say that last piece again.
Like the thought of eating one meal a day, because I would never get down to one meal a day. I don't picture myself ascending to one meal a day.
Totally.
You also said at the same time, you're like, when you're hungry, when you work out, feed yourself. So then you got yourself to one meal a day, where you've got your body in a routine where you're only hungry, it sounds like, at one meal a day, versus my body, it's like I'm eating high volume of food often, and I'm feeling the same boundless energy you're feeling.
I understand metabolism differences. So yeah. I am 100% sure. Not now, because I don't know how young you are right now, but I think you're in your 20s still, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got you. So at some point, you will be able to be the 5, 10, 1.5 meal a day within a 4 hour window thickness. It will happen, but no, it will. But your body has to be, it has to be trained to that place.
Right.
Right now, as you know, so I'm at the last level, you can say. Some people, depending on their emotional content, they can make that leap and they get through that uncomfortable portion. But for most people, it's going to be at least two, right? You're gonna eat at least 2 meals. You wake up, you're a little hungry, you're gonna do a smoothie. Lunchtime, you get a little hungrier again because that's the way your body and your microbiome is trained. You're gonna eat some food then. Then in the evening, it's gonna bubble again, and you're gonna want a little snack. That's okay too. What's most important is that when you're eating the food, it has the nutrient density, right? You are absolutely still in your 20s. As you get into your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, your digestive juices and system changes because your body's no longer holding that level of water, right? So as your body ages, there's less energy to break down food. And that's when your body's going to learn to get efficient. So what I've done at 33 is I've trained my body to live this way by training like I'm a Spartan, pushing the body to the point of fatigue where it can't do anything anymore. And it begins to secrete that hormone that signals growth hormone. And so in my body at 33, my body begins to create growth hormone like I'm going through puberty again. And so whatever, that's why should I start flexing on the gram? No. I'm super jacked, fam. I'm super jacked on 1.5 meal a day. I'll drink my drink, I'll eat my meal, and I might have a nice piece of chocolate or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And they say, "What? He's lost it." No, man. My body will just eat it up, keep it moving. Look, the longest lived person recorded on Earth, his name was Li Cheng, Licheng. All of y'all can look him up after the live. He was a Chinese herbalist who was about 6'2", who lived over they say he lived 256 years of age. But really, let's even say he just lived 200 years of age. His secret was every day breathing and moving, doing the bagua, form of Tai Chi or martial arts. He said, you do those movements every day sincerely. And what he meant by that was with the right energy, with the energy of peace and oneness. And when you're moving and breathing, you're creating energy. And on the flip side, you're programming your body to circulate that energy all day. I might have gone over a lot of y'all heads. Whenever you do anything, your body fires those neurons and those electrical currents, and it wires that emotion and that conductivity together. So if every day you wake up and you say, "Woo! I'm grateful to be alive." If every day you do that, regardless to who's around you, you wake them up, they're like, "Oh," if every day you wake up and do that, you do that for enough days, the day that you don't do it, you still feel it. You might not say it, but you literally still feel it. You'll wake up and you go, and you want to say it. You literally, your body will look to say it because you've programmed your body to create that emotion at that specific time. That's part of the reason why in the protocols, especially the water perfect hydration protocol, which really should just come with the water enhancement protocol. I may have just blended. It tells you, drink your water at the same time. When I have people go through the 20-day group detox, we drink our water when we take the herbs. But that's how you want to maintain it. Every 2 hours, you want to. That's ideal. If you can't do that because of your job and your lifestyle, then you do every 4 hours. But you want to get your body programmed to knowing when the water is going to come in. Because when it knows when the water is going to come in, it's going to say, all right, let's create a rhythm around this so that we can use that time efficiently. Everyone's going on about AI, not realizing that our body is the ultimate AI. Trillions of cells communicating instantaneously, governing every single thing in our entire body. Just think about that. Inside of our body, 70 billion lightning bolts of energy. How do we allow ourselves how do we allow that energy to move freely through our bodies so that we can maintain high energy, high health, high happiness? You have to remove resistance. That is part of the reason why I'm still gonna give him a chance. I think after 100 and something people blow up his page and some benevolent person creates a bot that literally spams all of his posts, you should do the live with the holistic Jedi. You should do the live with the holistic Jedi. When that happens, he'll come on, because we need to create clarity, because it's too much people. Y'all have no idea how much people hit me up just like, yo, I don't know what to eat, and at this point I'm having an anxiety attack. That internal resistance from one person saying this, the other person saying this, and not explaining. Don't get me twisted. Anybody can say what they want to say, but at least explain it. Give people some more context, because what you were saying may be right in this context for this person, and it's because Tori, and we spoke about this, because everyone's attention spans are like a minute or 2 minutes max. We try to put as much value into a video, but there's only so much that you can put into a 2-minute video that shares the whole picture, right?
But
And
that's why, like, if anyone watching is going to take away anything, right? Like, me and Mikael are out here creating content in reels, okay? You need to take it beyond 2-minute clips on Instagram and join the communities where we're teaching, and join the programs where we're actually teaching for your body, for your situation. Because, and just to even say, Mikael's community is free, and I have a completely free community as well. Like, the information is there and provided to you guys. It's just this internet game is so we can find you, so you can find
real,
us. We play with the algorithm so you can find us. That's it.
that's all it is, man. That's all it is. Okay, I guess my day is gonna go a little differently, but it's all good. Tomorrow's tomorrow. This day 2 years ago, I would tell you all the story. This day 2 years ago, I was literally trying to figure out how it is that I could induce labor, because we almost went 2 days after the water bag broke without the contraction starting to happen. So I had to sit down, took a microdose. I went to the trees and I was like, yo, how are we gonna do this? And eventually ended up getting some castor oil, getting some pineapple juice, and doing particular things so that oxytocin could be released and so contractions could start, right? And I'm saying all this to say, man, you guys have to begin to learn the body. You have to begin to learn. I say this in the class, in the course that is going to have a PowerPoint presentation for each class now, instead of just audio. Electricity creates magnetism. Magnetism operates in waves, and those waves exist as frequencies. Those frequencies create sounds, and those sounds create light. And that is a lot of fancy terminology. All that means is everything is connected, so that at the end of the day, when you're trying to heal fibroids, or you're trying to heal cancer, depending on what particular area of the body, what particular organ it is, you need to begin to think, okay, particular light for that thing, sounds for that thing, smells for that thing, temperatures for that thing, minerals for that thing, emotions for that thing. You have to begin to think, wow, I don't remedy those particular ailments in my body with just food alone. I do it with my feelings. I do it with the colors that come into my eyes. I do it with the smells that permeate my nose. which is part of the reason why if anybody goes into a public bathroom, you need to hold your breath. Anything that you smell, you eat. So even though you may look like a crazy person when you go to the airport, sometimes it's okay to wear a mask, especially if you get those morning flights. Oh God, you know, everyone's intestines are bubbling and they're farting on the plane. And look, you gotta put your mask on because if you smell it, you eat it. if once you get that, you know, there's no conversation. There's no conversation that needs to be had. You don't argue with people. You just put a mask on and keep it moving, right? Or keep your essential oil spray with your colloidal silver on deck so you could just, you know, and boom, you know, you're bulletproof, right? So, yeah, man, I guess
Wow.
a whole hour in, my brother did not show up.
Nope. Well, is there any, what were those
Yeah,
questions that he ignores on his live? Is there one of them that you can answer for the people if you know
they
it?
say, do I sell the mushrooms? I think for private questions, you need to be in the private group that I'll release later today. Um, but I do not participate in illegal activities. Everything I do is legal and by the book. I am a law-abiding citizen. I am not lawless publicly. When we are used to eating in due time. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please ask. Some of the questions that our brother doesn't ask, you know, you can ask them here and you can get some clear answers with information for you to go look up to see if it's true and steps for you to take to apply it so you can experience the truth for yourself and not just believe people that can't even show up, even though they take people's livelihood and their responsibility. You take people's lives into your care, you give them herbs that are supposed to help heal them, help give them hope, and you won't show up for some questions. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Man, Sabi would have never not shown up. That's a little sad, man. That's a little sad. Now I'm just kicking the bobo so I can snippet that out and send that, you use that.
Yeah.
We gotta use it, man, because we came, we waited, and he just didn't show. Can you imagine people getting ready to go to Vegas to see a fight between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, and Joe Frazier not showing up? Damn, son. All right.
Well, at least you answered a couple things. At least I could pose a couple good
You
questions to you.
did,
So
man. Man, Tori, I had something waiting, and I'm not gonna use it today. But remember that lady I told you that healed herself with eating fish?
of course.
I was gonna have her come on the live and be like, hey, how is this possible?
Mm.
Yeah, but it's all
Oh, actually, you have time for one more thing?
I do. And there's some questions that people are
Oh,
asking, so we got a little momentum. Let's do it.
okay, good. Okay. Do you want to answer the questions in the chat first?
Um, yeah, because I know ours would probably go deep and wide. Let's see. You spoke about alkaline diet lacking B vitamins. What do you suggest for B12 and others? Um, that's a really good question. I would say you have to get high amounts of chlorella or some type of plant-based, some type of green formula. I take a lot of super green algae and I take a lot of chlorella because super green algae and chlorella are high in ormus minerals. That's what makes them amazing. Clamex, blue-green algae, the ones that are growing on Mount Shasta, right there by California. I'm not going to get into the Oregon energy conversation, but wherever you have mountains, just like how you guys saw where I lived in Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic, the mountain will focalize, it will create negative ions. And so when you have something that grows on those mountain peaks, it's always rich in life force energy, which is what Ormus materials is, or Ormus liquid. For those of you who knew what that is, I do have it coming back, so just be a little patient. Tori's probably gonna have it too. Wink, wink. But yeah, at the end of the day, you want to just get as much of that green as you can, and depending on your haplotype, I will say this straight up. If you are lighter than me and you are not eating a piece of fish in some way, in the cleanest piece of fish that you can eat, you're tripping. And if you're not eating the fish because you don't want to eat live, dead animals, I understand that sentiment. I've been there. Um, then I want you to consider the fact that your plants are alive before you eat them, so you're eating them like a Tyrannosaurus Rex would eat a human being, and not or, that you need to get way more omega-3 fatty acids. The biggest thing about the alkaline diet that's really frigging everybody up is the fact that all of the oils that are used are high in omega-6. And inside of your body where all the energy is created, and not just the energy, the hormones too, right? I just haven't gone that deep because there's not even no need to go that deep. The balance between the omega-3 and the omega-6s have to be somewhere around 3 omega-6 and 1 omega-3. Right now, for people that do the alkaline diet, it's like one omega-3 to 40, 60, 80, 100 omega-6. That creates the problem where your cells cannot create the energy needed, even though you may be getting the things that are good for you. Energy needs to be created and then it needs to be circulated in order for your body to maintain good health. So all of that for your question there.
You went exactly where my question was
Okay,
with
so we're gonna get into it. Who was supposed to show Dr. Sebi's grandson Ekong from Eat to Live, Not to Die? He agreed to come. I told him the time. He gave me his title as the servant of the Creator, and he did not show. Maybe we can get him to show. Maybe not. At the end of the day, I will answer all the questions that he avoids on his live. How to heal breast cancer. Beloved, 9 pillars of health. Learn them, apply them. You will need support. You will need a community. You can join the community. If you need direct coaching, then I'll be having something similar to how my sister showed me the model of, so that I can have clients I work with one-on-one, so that at the end of the 4-month period or 6-month period, you're safe and you're healthy because you had someone to tell you and then hold you accountable and then give you some of that motivation, maybe send you a nice doctor that can get you some legal psilocybin therapy, and everything will be good. So at the end of the day, whether or not you decide to work with me or Tori, all of you need to know that you can do it. You can heal. It's not hard, but it gets hard when you make things complicated listening to all this different information. Start with the 9 pillars of health. That's it. Know what those are. Focus on the things that impact your health the most. Your breathing, your water, and your feeling. You get those down, you master those, and you're gonna watch in amazement how your body just begins to respond. And then you'll get to the place where you're like, okay, I need to know my levels. And that's when you can do a bioresonance scan or iridology. I think both of them have their applications, right? Because the things on the face show you what's happening on the inside. The scan just gives you a little bit more detail with the types of metals and stuff like that. The levels of omega-3s, the minerals, the vitamins, the everything. But the eye scan tells you that in a more direct way, just simplifying it, So, let's see. Talked about eating raw versus cooked. Yo, talk about eating raw food versus cooked food. Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
It would be snuggy to ask that question. Um, so, that's a conversation I want to have with Yaki live.
Yeah,
That would be great.
that's like another, the Auckland topic is one, then the
Yeah,
raw versus cooked is another.
that's that that's another one because I know he's a huge proponent of that. And the way he goes in his therapy is he has everyone eat fruits and juices throughout the entire day. And I don't recommend that. But some people may need that level of crack in their life. in order to maintain a lifestyle eating all those nasty bitter herbs. And I'm just the herb bitters that he has is pretty disgusting. I've had people come to me like, yo, I couldn't drink that. It was stressing me out. You know, and that's just what it is. But his system works. He's used it for 12 years now. You know, his system works. The only way where I would change is I would have people restrict their eating a little more, and I would have you just drink structured water versus having to spend, you know, your whole left leg on all these fruits that you're going to eat throughout the day. That just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, you can structure your water and you can tweak it with the minerals, even tweak it with some of the digestive enzymes so that when you eat, your body, remember on one of his lives, and I'll just mention this quick and then we'll move forward. On one of his lives, he mentioned you eat those enzymes that your body also creates, right? The fruits are the only things that have enzymes. Vegetables don't have the enzymes. Absolutely true. But when you go in through a period of intermittent fasting, those organs upregulate. They supercharge those enzymes in preparation for the meal that you've programmed your body to break down at that particular time. So you can either consume a whole bunch of enzymes, which when you're healing and you're enzyme deficient, that is important now. But you can get those from the pigments. They're enzymes that are still intact in powder form. And people will tell you that's nonsense, but it's true. So that's all I'll say. We can get the raw food conversation going. Hopefully with my brother live, that would be great. Because I know he don't have ego. We'd be able to talk about it and it get real sciencey. About cleaning fruit juice. Let me see. How to manage healing epilepsy. Same thing, fam. The only thing that changes in anyone's healing regimen is how you do certain practices throughout the day. So if you have a particular problem with your kidneys, I'll give you qigong movements for your kidneys, sounds for your kidneys, breathing for your kidneys, where you visualize yourself breathing into it, versus another area that has a different combination. The pillars are the same. The only thing that changes are little tweaks to the activities and the minerals that you take. That's it. It's the same for everybody. Look, I'm gonna say something outlandish. If everybody took their right amount of minerals, drank a gallon of water a day, and ate one meal of rice and beans, they would live healthier and longer and happier. Once you adapted, everyone would heal. Or if you just drank ormus in your water and you breathed deeply for 45 minutes throughout the day and you moved with it, you would no longer have pain and you would lose weight effortlessly. And if anybody doesn't believe me, you could try it. I could bet you money that if you do it, you'll get the result because it's a law. You breathe, you move, your body's going to exhale the carbon, which is weight. It's going to get rid of all of the waste because you're going to use the bathroom more, which is what weight is. It's waste. Or just fat, which is energy stored in the body, which happens after you eat a certain amount of grams of sugar, which is why my brother Yaki can maintain his good, healthy weight, right? He maintains his weight because he eats a lot of fruit. You eat a lot of fruit, you'll hold the weight if your metabolism isn't super jacked, right, Tori? Because when you got the high metabolism like you'll have to lift and you'll have to build that lean muscle so that you train the fat to go to the areas where they count.
I even see like a lot of people come to me with aftermath of like fruit cleansing for a very long period of time.
Bruh.
Like a lot of people do not do well on that, and it's being touted as like a cure-all and the thing. And I see the aftermath from people going through these detoxes that are 100% fruit or juice or all the things, and I'm doing damage control over here.
Because they didn't get the memo that when they do a detox, it shouldn't even be for a long period of time like that. It needs to be gradual. That's why when I saw that and I knew that, I said, well, you know what? Let me design something that's really sustainable. Let me help someone create the habits so that they can now create health with the least amount of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you to go to the gym every day, every other day, or every 2 days. I'm going to tell you, start with 3 minutes. Start with 3 minutes every day. Do as much squats as you can, and then do as much plank time as you can, and that's it. Do it once a day. After you get into the habit and your body starts to release all that oxytocin, all that dopamine, you're going to look for it. You're not going to run for it. Run from it. So, hey, one another day, I'm 61 years old. There's a lot of y'all need to just take your time. Don't try to learn everything at once. That's the problem. Because everything is so fast, we are programmed to instant gratification. We want it now. We want that Amazon Prime next day delivery. That's not how it works in your mind, and that is certainly not how it works in your biochemistry. Our bodies have evolved for millions of years, and it's adapted. Our mitochondria inside of our body is the cousin of the plant. How we create energy is literally through a bacteria that lives inside of us. Fam, that's why you got to just reconnect with Mother Earth through the ways that we've shared on this live. So let's segue into your question. We waited too long for it. Let's do it.
Well, it's kind of backtracking to your answer. So we talked, right? We talked privately, and you said to me, Tori, you're melanated. You need to be on an omega-3. And
sure.
Okay. I have had levels of resistance to that.
The cognitive dissonance of eating something.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But I have read some stuff, and I do believe that greens, there's a book for anybody who wants to read it. There's one book, Green for Life, that talks about the balance of omega-3s and 6s. Oh, is our guest here? I see things happening in the chat right now.
Word?
Yeah. I see things happening in the chat. He's here. Request was sent 15 minutes ago. Interesting.
I see Josh Fernandez and Don's here in the request to join.
Yeah, that's on you. That's on your end. You haven't seen it?
He said this life was much better. E Kong is here. I don't see it. He's not here at all, y'all. Hold on, I'll screenshot this. I'll give y'all the receipt. I ain't want him to come on here.
Yeah, I just saw in the chat. He just posted too. The request was sent 15 minutes ago. He commented that in the chat, but it looks like you didn't get a notification.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, all right, let's go outside. All right, okay. He showed up. All right, hold on. I just posted it. Let me screenshot when I got it, because I love receipts. All right, I'm waiting for him, fam.
Are you still gonna get the request if I'm live with you? You can see other people trying to request.
Absolutely. I can still see the request. So it's 2 people that's requesting. Josh Fernandez and Don's here. I don't see him here.
Okay.
So actually, let me see. Let me let y'all see. Y'all, we were in a zone talking. Okay, hold on. Ooh, let's do it.
Yay. Maybe he got the time zone wrong, because if he says he sent the request 15 minutes ago, that's technically 1 p.m. on my time, too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy. We are all here in the building. Okay, hold on one sec.
All right, family. Mikhail, you're frozen, my friend. Okay, there you are.
Oh yeah, I had to unfreeze us. All right, so we here.
All right, I can make my way out. Hi, Ekong, nice to meet you.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
I guess we can, because I have we done been prime already, and I think I have a good feel sense, because I did take a microdose a little earlier.
Amazing.
So everything gonna be everything will be cool. So if we need you, Tori, because we are only men, and sometimes if we're presenting things that we really believe in, it could get a little heated, you know. If we need you, then ping ping, and the woman will come and balance out everything. So
Amazing. Have a good one, guys. I will be watching and learning. Peace.
okay, my brother.
Yeah,
So
bro.
all right. So look. First thing I wanted to make sure that I told you. You know, first thing. I wanted to clear the air because the way I got you on the live is not the way that I intend for the conversation to go. Right?
You were being
Well,
disrespectful, bro. So you have to apologize straight
disrespectful
out the gate.
is a strong word. I was being facetious, right? Because I'm gonna tell you why. Let me just because I've had a lot of people who speak and share some of the things that you speak and share, literally not show up. Like they've literally like, nah, man, I ain't gonna do the live. I just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, and they're not gonna stand on it. And so I felt compelled to try to make sure that I got you on the live. And so I used some cheesy tactics, right? And that's not really represented to the respect that I show everybody, including you, because you're doing some good work. At the end of the day, this conversation is not to be a kind of a battle, right? This ain't a battle. I think what's most important, I think the core message of what, you know, Sabi was about this is not mine, this is ours. He was about helping people heal. And the way we do that is not just by trying to be right, but trying to be helpful, right? We could lose ourselves in ego when we continually bam, 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 bam. But if we could create clarity, which is why this is the main reason why I felt good, and I knew if we got on a live it would be potent, because you said this a lot. You said people deserve to know the truth. You said this, and that's what I truly believe. If people know it, not just believe it, if they know it, then there's clarity, and there's no more confusion. You feel me?
All right
Well,
then, brother.
talk to me, man.
But regardless though, you was being rude though, bro. And
I just apologized. You
and
received it?
I hear you. But I wasn't really happy about that,
I
bro.
know.
And I usually don't, you know, respond because, you know, I've been doing this for like almost 12 years now since I was 22. I'm gonna be 34 in about 2 weeks'
So we
time. So I've been
say
doing,
blessings.
yeah. So I've been doing this for a minute, brother. So I've had to develop a certain amount of patience with people in the world because, you know, everybody, you can't control how people are in the world. You have to control the way you react in the world. The way people are gonna be is how they're gonna be. You can't control that. You have to always control what's going on inside of you. So instead of, you know, being angry, I would prefer to explain my anger. You get what I'm saying? So whatever I don't feel happy about, I prefer to explain it to people instead of, you know, taking it out on people. So that is really part of the reason why I came on this live today, bro. It's not for no clout, because I don't need clout. If I had one follower or a million followers, I'll be moving with the same passion and velocity. You feel me? Because I
Yes, I.
know that I know that what I'm doing is the right thing. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So where do you want to begin, my brother?
So
Where do you want to begin?
So we had talked a little bit. We had talked a little bit with Tori, but we can reintroduce you here because your presence and your feedback is important for everybody who subscribes. The number one thing that you said, we can start with what initially sparked me to have this live with you. You said something along the lines of, after 45 minutes, a
Yeah,
leaf loses its energy and it's dead. So what I wanted to ask you is,
yeah.
what do you define as something that has energy and something that's dead? Because definitions is very important. You know, a lot of people can hear the word energy and a lot of people hear the word dead, and they have different interpretations of it. So
All right.
clear the
Let me
air for everybody what you
let
mean.
me let me let me give it let me give it clarity because obviously Instagram is 1 minute and 30 seconds. So
So,
in 1 minute and 30 seconds, I have to try my best to get my point across. but at the same time, I need to make sure that my information is potent and engaging. Okay. Now, when I said dead, or to be honest, when Dr. Sabi said dead, because he's the one that said dead, I played a video of Dr. Sabi explaining the same thing I was
Yeah.
explaining. So what I get from what Dr. Sabi is saying is, I'm not gonna give anybody a leaf to heal any major disease. When I say major disease, I'm talking about chronic diseases, brother. I'm talking about fibroids. I'm talking about endometriosis. I'm talking about things like asthma. I'm talking about things like brain aneurysms. I'm talking about things like somebody that has a pancreas that's burst, or a bladder that's bleeding, or these are major things, my brother. And the leaves are not going to help you. Okay. They might be able to put you to make you have a nice little sleep at night. But other than that, it's not going to help you with any major diseases. The major diseases are healed by the roots and the barks and the flowers. Let me give you another example of what I mean by that. Everybody in the world that grows cannabis, everybody in the world that grows cannabis, listen to me carefully. When you find a male plant growing, what do you do to that male plant? You throw that male plant away. Why? Because the male plants are not the ones that we smoke. We smoke the flower. We don't smoke the leaves. The bud is the flower. A mango is a flower. A soursop is a flower. A watermelon is a flower. Every fruit comes from a female plant, which is a flower. Do you understand me? So when we smoke weed, we don't smoke the leaves, because we know that the leaves is not potent. What you give me? Why you give me leaf for? Give me the bud, man. That's how we talk. Do you understand? We want the bud so we can smoke the bud. We can even put the bud in hot water and drink it as well. So the flowers are very, very powerful. A lot of people nowadays are using mullein leaves instead of mullein flower. If you go to Victor Bowman's website, you will find a plant there called Gordo Blogo. Gordo Blogo, what he sells, that is the mullein flower. If you hold the mullein flower and you hold the mullein leaves side by side, they are totally different. Do you understand me?
Okay.
And it is the flower that is going to give you the most of the healing energy than the leaves. I'm not saying that the leaves is totally null and void. No, you can drink that to help you go to bed. You can drink it to, maybe lessen a little bit of pain, but no major diseases.
Okay.
None.
So now you clear the air. It's everything kind of get losing context when we're making content for attention spans. So you use a little clickbait tactic, just telling people that they were dead, and just telling them to use more roots and barks, because the roots and the bark are the
But I
roots are the
did say that in the
manufacturing.
video, brother. If you go back to the video, I did say that.
All right,
I did say that in the video.
hold on. Yeah, just let me just say
I'm
the
just
roots
saying.
and the barks, the roots are the area that actually create the minerals. They're the ones that's the manufacturing of all the rest of the plant life. So they always gonna have more minerals. But to tell people that plants, the leaf of the plant, don't have the value that you're looking for, you don't think that's a little counterproductive, bro?
No,
Because
brother,
let,
because you know why? Let me tell you why, though. Let me tell you why I don't think it's counterproductive before you go, yeah?
okay,
One, it's not going to take long.
okay,
The reason why I say it's not counterproductive, yeah, is because I personally know more than 6 people in this world, right, that have made over 6 figures from selling leaves. Now,
me
obviously,
too.
it's not obviously no. I'm not one of them. What obviously, I'm a man of righteousness. So when I see someone drinking leaves to try and get rid of, fibroids, when I see someone drinking leaves to get rid of their inflammation in their brain and the calcification in their pineal gland with leaves, it gets me upset. And they think they're spending a lot of money. They think they're
I
spending
hear
a
you.
lot of money, but it's not really a lot of money. At the end of the day, I understand the leaves are very cheap. The leaves
I
go
hear you.
for pennies out there. So
I
the
hear you.
gullible people of the world, the ones that don't really know much when
That's
it comes
true.
to healing, they're going to think that going to get the leaves is going to help them out when they actually need to spend that $20 more or that $30 more and get the bark.
I got you.
But the healers of today are not telling them that because they want to get all the money. Do you
Yeah,
understand me, bro?
yeah. I understand what you said now. I understand what you said. And actually, I think it's really important for people to just know all parts of the plant have nutrient, but if you're gonna get a part of the plant, you want to get a roots. You want to get a roots because that's where the most dense part is. However, you don't have to sleep on the leaf. If you could get a leaf for free, if you in Georgia right now and you see a burdock plant growing in your backyard, use the burdock plant, wash the leaves off, boil it down with the root, and that'll make you a tonic for yourself. See, I don't like to. One of the things that I'm really mindful of is throwing the baby out with the bathwater. There are a lot of people that sell a lot of cheap crap. You and I both know them. You know, one of the people that I think have the most amount of clout, and he sells this liquid, which is absolutely not bioavailable to the body, is that gold water stuff. I don't know if you ever hear about it. You know, but at the 19 Keys selling the gold water, that stuff is pure God. And I'm sure he's made over 6 figures just selling the thing. We can't stop people from doing what they're doing, but we can help people understand, hey, this is better than this. And that's what you did. So
Yeah,
I'm glad we
just
cleared
to
that
give
up.
you more, just to give you more clarity. Let me give you more clarity,
All
please.
right.
You have to understand as well, my brothers and sisters. You see, when you go out there and you go get a leaf, and the leaf is brown, and
Sorry,
the
excuse
leaf
me.
is looking black, and
Excuse
the
me. That's
leaf is
this
gone.
your uncle. This your uncle here talking smart. Come on, you look, man. Victor, I love you. You know, Victor, I love you. I just decided I wasn't gonna do that with you because you still got some ways, man. I gotta go to your superior real quick. And I say that lightly, right? Because both of y'all is family. We our family. We kicking the bubble. Sometimes family to talk shit. All right. I'm just putting that out there. Just chillax,
Bro,
Victor.
this is not even a debate. I just came on here to give people more clarity, bro.
Oh,
Like
we
you see
we
when
just getting started.
when
We
I talk here, my brother,
yeah,
I
man.
try my best. When I talk, I try my best for nothing but truth to come out of my mouth. So it doesn't matter if I go to a platform that has only 4 followers, 1 million followers, 6 billion followers. I'm gonna be myself everywhere I go. And
Brother.
I don't personally think that anyone in this world can debate me. Why? Because you believe in what you believe in. I believe in what I know. You know what you know. Victor knows what he knows. Everybody knows what they know, innit? And at the end of the day, everyone is gonna have the people that deal with them and listen to them and flow with them and vibrate towards them.
Facts.
Everyone's got that. You
Facts.
feel me?
So
So
check.
it's not about me versus you and you versus Vic and
No, 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 no,
no,
no,
it's
no.
none of that.
Versus. This is why I said in the beginning of the
All it all
conversation.
it is all
Pause.
it is, my brother,
But
is
check.
that all of us are doing work
Check
and
this.
people are gaining benefit from that. But let me finish with the plant thing. So when
Hold
you're
on, hold on, hold
buying,
on, hold on. Hold on. We clear on the plant. Everybody clear about the leaves on the roots. We good. This is the
no, I
conversation
mean, I'm
that needs to
talking
be.
about if the leaves are green, and you're eating it at the source, it's beautiful. It's very powerful. But you see, when the leaves have been dried by the sun and they're brown and they're dark and they're black, that's dead. Leave that
Okay,
alone.
so let's jump into that before we jump into the second one. I want to break this down to you. Didn't Dr. Sebi himself say you could take something and burn it down into an ash and it still would have its mineral potency,
One
its electrical.
100 million%, my brother. One
So
hundred
so
million
hold on,
percent.
so hold on. I want you to understand this because in some areas, I'm gonna tell you right now, brother. I know for you to say something like that, you must not be aware of the only difference between fire and the oxygen that we breathe is that one is very sped up. Fire and the air we breathe do the same thing to our bodies, which is why at some point we die and we become dust. Period. The fire just speed that thing up, right? So to say that the leaf is dead after 45 minutes, that is actually incorrect. It's still minerals in there. It's not as bioavailable. It's not as alive because they don't have water. But when you put that leaf back in the water and you extract it with the heat, just like the fire would do, turning the thing into the powder, you get the minerals too, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but when you get those minerals, what are you expecting those minerals to do for you if you have
The
a
minerals
pathology?
gonna do the minerals gonna do the same thing when they get in your body. that they
Yeah,
would do.
let me tell you something about energy. Energy doesn't change. Energy just transforms, right?
But
Right?
I just told you that. You will go ahead,
All
yeah.
right. So you can say that energy has levels. If I push you, if I touch you on your shoulder, you're not gonna move. But then if I push you on your shoulder, you will move. So the energy of the touch on your shoulder wasn't enough to move you, right? But yet it was energy nonetheless that I used, right? By touching you. So what I'm basically saying, my bro, man, is don't use no leaves to try and heal no
So
disease, bro. If you want to try go to sleep and want to have a good night's rest, you might want to alleviate a little bit of pain. And yeah, I hear that. But any major diseases, please,
so
everyone out there, don't go for no
so
leaves. Go get your roots and your barks and your flowers and your berries, please.
so I have to share a testimony, and I hope the ladies here. Anya, if you're here in the live, then please hit
But
that.
Anya,
Hold on, hold
let
on,
me
hold
give you,
on.
let me,
I
no,
gotta
no,
talk. I
wait.
let
Before
you
you
talk,
bring
brother.
Anya on the live, though, let me say one thing, though, please, because again, we have to bring truth.
All
We
right, well,
can't be lying out
you
here.
got you gotta give balance. You
Nobody
gotta
knows,
talk. That man
nobody
cool.
knows, wait. Nobody knows Anya. I don't know Anya. Only you know Anya. Okay? I'm not saying Anya is lying. I'm not saying Anya is lying at all. I'm not trying to disrespect
Good
Anya. But there
tactic.
is a possibility. But there is a possibility, even if that possibility is 1%, there is a possibility that Anya could be talking nonsense. So I don't want to bring anyone on the live to share anything. I've got hundreds of people that can come on the live, and I bet you do too. So can we just keep it between me and you, and we
All right,
just
well
talk
check
as
this.
men?
I'll just say it like this. Olive leaf
Yeah.
extract. The olive leaf. When you extract the olive leaf and you take that substance, it is one of the most antibacterial, most potent antibacterials on the planet, man. And so when you say a leaf, and the leaf is always made, the extract is made from the dried leaves. So you can't throw out, this is all I'm trying to say. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
All right.
When you throwing out a whole category of a part of a plant that is potent, it's like it's like nah, man. Just tell people it still have potency, but it's not as potent as the roots.
If
That's all I'm saying.
somebody gave you an option, if you was sitting down homeless and somebody gave you $1 or $100, which one would you take?
Say that again.
If you was sitting down homeless outside and someone came to you and had $1 in one hand and $100 in the other hand, which one would you take?
Which one do you need?
Okay, let me say it a different way
I
then.
figure out.
If somebody said,
We're gonna take
if
the
somebody
$100.
said, I'll give you
I was
one.
being facetious. We're gonna take the 100. We're gonna take the
All
100.
right, okay, my brother. So that's basically all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's
All right,
all
all
I'm
right.
saying,
All
bro.
right,
That's
best. All
all
right,
I'm
best. All right,
saying.
best. We saying the same thing. Let me saying the same thing. Let me go on to the next subject because
Go on,
we don't handle that. We don't handle that.
go on.
This is actually the main highway, man. This is the number one thing that we need to discuss that a lot of people, especially newbies, do not understand.
Yeah.
What the hell? What is alkaline? People don't. People think just because the food is on the list, and I don't know if you do, but I did see some videos of you calling turmeric garbage,
Yeah.
calling garlic garbage, like
100%.
that word. But I think it's really important for people to understand what creates alkalinity, man, because
Okay.
this is the biggest, this is a bigger pandemic than
Should I
COVID. People not
explain?
understanding. So let's clear the air.
Should I
Victor, man,
explain what alkalinity
yeah,
is?
let's clear the air about what alkalinity is, man,
Should I
because
explain it? Yeah.
because it's not just the title of a thing that makes it alkaline, and I think that's where a lot of people get frig up, right?
Mm.
So by your definition, we'll
When you're
go with you.
ready,
By your
when you're ready, I'm
definition,
ready.
what is a food that is alkaline?
All
What
right.
makes things alkaline?
All right. I'm so happy that you asked me that question, my brother. I love it, man, because the truth doesn't need believers. The truth is the truth, with or without your acceptance. You get it? It doesn't care about your
Truth
feelings. It doesn't
is
care about
whatever you decide, Dr.
your emotions. Nothing. So listen carefully. Watch and listen, because I'm teaching through visuals. That's how I teach. Yeah. Look at this carefully. In the Caribbean, yeah, in Jamaica, can you see this apple here? Can you see this
Yeah, I know
apple?
the yummy red apple.
Okay, you see in Jamaica, this apple grows wild. No man, no woman, no child, nobody has to grow this. It grows by itself. Okay, let me show you another one. You know what these are? These are blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. You see these berries here? All
Yeah.
these berries grow in England right now. Okay, you know what else is growing wild right now in Jamaica right now? Let me show you. This is called callaloo. Callaloo is one of the greatest greens that grows wild in the world. So basically, what alkaline foods are, my brothers and sisters,
Callaloo, my son.
foods that grow without the aid of a man, woman, or child. Meaning every year, without fail, before your mothers and fathers was born, before their mothers and fathers was born, and before them, since the beginning of creation, you see those fruits that I just showed you right now? They have been here since the beginning of creation. You see turmeric, that was not here since the beginning of creation. You see garlic. Garlic was not here from the beginning of creation, but there's a plant called wild ramson that smells just like garlic and tastes just like garlic.
Why
That
the
grows
ransom?
wild.
It's a
So
it's a garlic cilantro. It's a green garlic
okay, all
cilantro.
right. So that's what I tell people as a replacement. So I just explained it in less than 4 minutes, my brother. Alkaline foods are foods that grow without the aid of a man, woman, or child. Any other questions?
Okay, so let me tell you what alkaline foods are. Alkaline foods are foods that can donate electrical minerals to the body. Period. If foods can donate, then they have a certain level of alkalinity because they can provide energy. There are foods that are on the list of alkaline foods that do not meet that requirement at all. And so people are going through that list, eating those foods when they can find them, because you know that's hard to find in regular places. Burro
Okay.
bananas
Can I
are
can I ask you
impractical to
one
find.
question though, please, brother? Can I ask you a question,
All
please,
right, but
bro?
you're interrupting me,
Where where does where does turmeric grow naturally?
brother. What I'm trying to tell you is that a plant that wasn't tampered by man, the lemon was made by the Egyptians as a way to counter the diseases that came over with the Europeans. They hybridized and created the lemon. And the lemon is one of the most potent fruits that you can consume because it's high in vitamin C. So what I'm trying to clear the air with is getting people to understand it's not all about eating those alkaline foods. Of course, don't get it twisted. Getting foods that grow wild in nature is going to mean that you're getting foods that are connected to a healthy mycelium network. So you're getting a whole bunch of biodiversity. You're getting more nutrients in that food than you're getting from something that is store bought. But at the end of the day, everything has a purpose. Everything can be useful. If you are having a cold, when we used to have cold, at least I'm from the Caribbean. I'm born and raised on St. Croix, right? I know where King Street is. I know exactly the tree that Dr. Sabi used to sit and tell his stories underneath the tamarind tree. I've been there, right? That's my home. So I'm telling you, every single thing that we see has a benefit if we know how to use it. If you're sick, my grandmother would take the garlic and the onions and the garlic with the sulfur inside the garlic, just like the sulfur inside the waters over there by Usha village. That sulfur activates the NRF. I'm not going to get into the science. It activates the body's immune system. And at the end of the day, it has a purpose. Is it something that you're supposed to take every day? No. It's an inferior herb, but even an inferior herb has a purpose. And so, it's good to me. I think it's good to have these conversations because a lot of people to look at it and they demonize it, bro. They look at garlic now and they demonize it. They look at turmeric now and they demonize it. They're like, and then the truth is, it has a purpose. All plants have a purpose. All of them. Just like how if we go out in nature if someone go into the cow field and they see this growing out of the cow shit, right? They see this growing out of the cow shit. They're gonna say, what the hell kind of nasty fungus shit is that? But if they pick it up and eat it, they're gonna get a whole different experience of the world.
Yeah, but that was grown by nature, not man.
This was grown by man in a monotube, my brother.
I'm talking about mushrooms that grow naturally in the forest.
But
I'm
this
not
is
talking about man-made mushrooms. I'm talking about mushrooms that pop up naturally from the ground.
Hold on, bro. This is exactly what I'm getting to. This grows in nature, but this particular bag was grown by a man, by a woman with 3 children with a monotube. At the end of the day, both of them are useful.
No. Okay, you're getting me misunderstood. Let me explain what I'm saying. Okay. So if Julie mangoes grows naturally in nature, and then you take that Julie mango seed and then you take it to your house and you grow a Julie mango tree in your back garden, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind about that. That's cool. But for example, sugarcane doesn't grow wild. Sugarcane, the white man had to come to the Caribbean and tear down all of the forests and all of the trees and remove all of the insects and the animals just to grow sugarcane on that land. So why are they destroying the land to grow something else that the land does not produce? Everybody that grows up in Jamaica knows that sugarcane doesn't grow naturally. They have to flatten up your land and build up the sugarcane on your land. And there's nowhere in no mountain in the world you can find sugarcane growing naturally while you're walking up the mountain.
I mean,
so this is my point, but this is my point that I'm trying to make again. People don't understand. Now, sugarcane, right, is where you get sugar. And sugar is the most toxic thing on the whole planet Earth. But you're sitting down in front of me saying right now that every plant has a purpose. So what is the purpose of the sugarcane, brother? Because I know that sugarcane is 10 times more harmful than cocaine. Sugarcane will change your biochemistry. Sugarcane will change the circadian rhythm. Sugarcane will destroy your pituitary gland and your hypothalamus gland, so you're no longer able to reason or love yourself. Sugar is so damaging to the human body, bro, that people will look at a crackhead and laugh at them, but yet they eat donut rings before they go to work, glazed ring donuts before they go to work. But they laugh at crackheads, but they're a crackhead themselves. So, my brother, please tell me how sugarcane is useful to the world. So I need to understand that.
So
that's a plant. You said every plant is useful. So tell us how sugarcane is useful.
So let me put it this way. I love the way you elaborate, and I love the way you speak in rhythm. You know, but the whole sugarcane bringing into the conversation kind of is deflecting from the main conversation. I'm gonna answer it though. I just spoke to you about a mushroom that grows out of cow shit and how the mushroom in the container is just as good as the mushroom that grew directly out of the cow shit. Sometimes it could be a little cleaner even, but sugarcane was created by the European so that they can create a lot of sugar so that they can control the world through crack like they still do today. So sugarcane is not the same thing as me telling someone turmeric or me telling someone like garlic. It's completely different, man.
Why?
That's like night and day, man.
But man made turmeric, man made sugarcane, and man made garlic.
Man,
I don't get it.
Man, everything that man has learned, they've imitated a process from nature. Everything. We can agree on that. Airplanes were made looking at how birds fly. Even the grafting process was created by man looking at how nature naturally hybridized things. Nature itself will take these things and transform the genes of a plant into something else. So,
bro, you said that every plant has a purpose, bro. Sugarcane is a plant. What's the purpose, bro?
Hey, bro, look. At the end of the day, people could consume the sugarcane and they will live. And they will live if they didn't have any access to water and they didn't have any access to food and all they had was sugarcane on the field. Guess what? That person gonna live. because they could take the sugar cane and press it down and get the sugar cane juice. So if someone is in a position where they don't have access to fresh water, if someone was abandoned on an island and there was nothing else on the island but sugar cane, guess what? That person
But
is
that's what everyone says, though.
no, no, no,
That's
no.
what
Hold
everyone
on,
says.
hold on, hold on. What I'm telling you is, at the end of the day, the sugar cane can still be used. It's not my go-to. It's not the one that I'll say, yeah, man, go get you some sugar cane. Absolutely not. There's a million different better options. But you still cannot deny the fact that if you were on an island and all there was a sugar cane and a way to press the sugar cane down into water, you're gonna drink that shit because it's gonna make you live. Because at the end of the day, a plant has ingredients, and those ingredients can be used to sustain life. That's all I'm trying to say. Is there a hierarchy to
There's no
different
purpose
things?
for sugar
Look,
cane.
hold on. Is there a hierarchy to different things that are more beneficial? Sure.
But
But
if
the
man didn't
world
make
ain't perfect.
sugarcane, you wouldn't know sugarcane existed, though. If man didn't create turmeric, you wouldn't know turmeric existed. If man didn't make sugarcane, you wouldn't know sugarcane existed. But Mother Nature made those apples that I showed you. Remember them apples that I showed you? That's how you know that exists. But if man didn't bring turmeric into existence, you wouldn't be talking to me about turmeric right now, bro. You see, let me tell you what it is, my brother. The reason why people are going to be listening to me that have sense is because you are not fighting me. You are not debating me. You are not really, talking about what I am saying. I am
What are
reporting
you
back
saying,
to
brother?
you. I'm reporting back to you what I have seen with my two eyes in the mountain, in nature, nowhere where man has been. So you said to me that these apples, you said that you've seen these apples growing up, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Nobody grows these apples. Nobody grows papaya. I see them growing Jamaica everywhere. No one grows that. Nobody grows tamarind. You get me? That comes naturally every season. Same with the
Bro,
soursop. So all of these foods,
can I ask you
Mother
something?
Nature creates them, not man.
But
Now
bro,
it's okay for wait. It's okay for man to grow these plants on a farm or in his backyard or his front yard or anywhere in a hydroponic green room. You can farm any of them. I don't mind that. However, all I'm saying is make sure whatever you're growing, you can find it growing wild by itself in nature first. That's all I'm telling you, bro. So this is Mother Nature speaking, not Ekong, not Dr. Sadie, not Dr. Sadie's son. This is Mother Nature, bro. You can't argue with nature, bro. And man can't create something better than nature. Man can never in his life create anything better than what Mother Nature would create. That means that you're trying to play God. You cannot play God. You cannot go into your laboratory and say, I'm going to mix this plant with this plant, and the new plant is going to give me the greatest minerals ever, better than what Mother Nature provides for me because I know better than Mother Nature. No, bro. You don't know. Nobody knows better than Mother Nature. Mother Nature supplies everything for us seasonally. Every season, she brings something new. Obviously, everybody's not going to have access to these things in the world. It's very hard for some people to get these things. However, it's not impossible. The people in the world are getting it. It's getting widely known. Just last week, we started telling the people in our market that we wanted those apples, the apples that I just showed you, the red one. We said we want it. The man said, no, 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 no. So we stopped going to the market there and we started to go somewhere else. And then 2 weeks later, he started bringing those apples from Jamaica. But the reason why he didn't want to bring it is because he said that by the time the apples reach London in the UK, he said the apples start to spoil. We told him we don't care about that. Bring it anyway. However many you can salvage, we are still going to eat it because we know that grows naturally. Stop bringing us those fake apples that the European has made that has wax all over it, and there's over 600 varieties of them. So
I
this
got you.
is what I need people all over the world to do. You are going to be the ones to make people get these plants because they have to supply a demand. If you create a demand for it in your community, in your
True.
local farmers market, they will have to get it for you. But if we don't go there and ask for it, how are they going to know the things that we desire? How are they going to know the things that we need? How are they going to know that things are alkaline?
So, bro. Okay, so you getting, your voice is getting kind of loud, you know. So that means, like, I don't know if you're getting kind of angry or aggressive, but we might,
It's
if you
passion,
need.
bro. I'm
I, I
always happy.
I got you. But hold on,
It's
hold on. So
passion,
so
bro.
so hold on. I need to speak. We can't make a comparison of sugarcane to garlic and turmeric and other things. Now, at the end of the day, what I want to make sure is that we're clear for people, because you have a lot of followers, a lot more followers than me, because you're passionate.
Don't focus on followers.
But
Don't bring that up,
hold
bro.
on, because,
Don't bring,
and
bro.
it's because you're passionate.
I could have bought all my followers. I could have bought all my followers. Don't do that. I
No,
could have bought every single one of them.
Look, you're doing this thing again. Your passion is
No,
not.
don't do that though, brother.
All right,
Don't
brother.
do that. Don't
We're gonna
mention
bring in
followers,
Tori.
bro.
We're
Because
gonna bring in
followers
Tori.
hasn't got anything to do with
All
this.
right, so
Be honest.
I'm bringing in Tori. You're too passionate. We gotta cool it down.
Don't bring followers into
All
it though, because I don't
right,
care about followers, bro.
here we go. Hey, Tori, thank you for
Hey.
being present. My brother's full of passion here, and I don't think I'm being really clear, and I think we need more order. And the woman does that. Like how he was saying, right? Mother Nature, you're the
Definitely.
physical embodiment of Mother Nature. So let's add some other things. Let's add some
Okay.
balance to it, because I don't think I've been able to really get to the bottom of what makes a food alkaline. He keeps saying that we refer to, things that grow naturally. And when you showed those examples, brother, you showed two examples of things that are easily propagated. I've been through about 4 hurricanes in my life, real hurricanes. After the hurricane, to pull up everything and the ground to look barren, you know what grows after the hurricanes? Tamarind and papaya. You want to know why? Because papaya seeds to be spread all over everywhere, and tamarind seeds are everywhere because there's so much seeds.
Yeah.
So to say that the things that are found in nature are the only things that you should eat, those things that are found in nature are there because they're easy to propagate in nature, but that doesn't mean they're the only things that we should eat. So but I'm saying that just to answer, because you said a lot, and now I'm trying to go back and then come back to bring it present.
Okay.
The most important thing that makes foods good for the body is the fact that there's minerals in it. That's what I'm trying to say. And you're trying to say that it's not just that, it's only the things that grow natural that man hasn't touched. But I would say to you, not everything that man does is corrupt. That's a terrible thing, because look, if man didn't have his techniques, I wouldn't have this thing that I would never be able to find in the States. I would only be able to go into a cow farm and pluck this off of the ship. But it's because of man that now I'm able to get that, and many people around the world will be able to get that, so that they don't commit suicide. So with that being said, Tori, please guide the conversation. I submit to the divine feminine essence so that we can flow more harmoniously. Let's do it.
I think I'm just speaking from like an outside perspective, listening to how this is moving. So like the philosophy of wild, non-man-made, non-GMO God food, that resonates and that feels superior, right? Except I think there's an issue of calling naturally occurring wild God-given food, calling that alkaline per se, is where you guys are not on the same page. So my question poses, is it possible for a hybrid food or a GMO food or a man-made food to be alkaline? And I think Mikhail would answer yes. And I think Ikong, based on what I know so far, I don't know you personally, you may answer no, but that seems to be a question. If we can get an answer from both of you, that will bring us together into some sort of harmonious context here.
Brother first.
Can a man-made GMO food be alkaline in any way?
No, because I already explained that alkaline foods are foods that grow without the aid of a man, woman, or child. So
Got it.
anything that man makes, it cannot help man. Do you know why? Because man cannot create anything that is better than Mother Nature. okay? And anything that man creates, if he creates that thing, but that thing is also in nature, so I give you an example. I have to show examples. This is called prickly pear. If man goes to his garden and grows a prickly pear, or if man goes to his garden and grows figs, if man goes to his garden and decides to grow coconuts, then I can consider that as alkaline. Why? Because these things can also be found in nature, even though he is growing it himself. Now, when man decides to mix plants together, for example, the orange and the lime makes the lemon. The Most High did not want the lemon to exist. Otherwise, the Most High would have had the lemon there already. Just like they do the same with animals. A tiger and a lion, when they take the sperm out of the lion and they put that sperm into the tiger, it creates a liger. Now, is that natural or unnatural? Because that's the same process that is done to a plant. It's called rape. RAPE. It's called rape. When you rape a plant, you create a GMO or a hybrid. A GMO is different from a hybrid. A GMO is genetically modified, and a hybrid is splicing, which is raping. Okay, it's the same thing they do with the liger. It's the same thing they do with the bees. It's the same thing they do with plants. You are not to combine two plants together that do not have the same electrical resonance. The saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. That holds true for man, for woman, for child, for insect, for animal, for aquatic creatures. You will never see a kangaroo having sex with a lion. You will never see a cherry tree pollinate a blackberry tree. A cherry tree pollinates a cherry tree. A blackberry tree pollinates a blackberry tree. A lion will breed a female lion. And that is the way of the world today. But they have changed it, and they have now brought in hybrid humans, hybrid plants, hybrid herbs, hybrid insects, hybrid animals, even the cow. The cow, go and do your research. It is the combination of a buffalo and a yak. A buffalo and a yak creates a cow. If the Most High wanted a cow to be on the earth, he would have created the cow. Why does man have to go and go? Imagine someone goes to a lion and goes and strokes a lion's penis just to allow the lion to ejaculate and then take that sperm and inject it by their own hand
Okay,
into a female
family,
lion.
family.
That's
I
crazy.
don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt you, but
We need to
I
stop
hear
doing
what you're
these things.
I hear exactly. Nobody's denying that wild, naturally occurring foods are going to be optimal and superior. Nobody's denying that. What we're trying to say, what I'm at least trying to get across is that this use of the word alkaline on a non-touched food from man, woman, or child, that's not technically the definition of alkaline. Because if we're talking about the chemistry of food, anything alkaline is going to have high electron content that is allowed to stabilize a proton dominant environment in the body. Because something is wild, non-touched, whatever, likely it has a high electron content. So what I'm saying is, though, is there other food that can, under that chemical definition of alkaline, regardless of man touched, can that be called alkaline? Because if that answer is yes, and that answer is yes, then that definition of alkaline is where you guys have the strong disconnect. Because just because wild, naturally occurring, untouched by man, just because that was used with the word alkaline years and years and years ago by Sebi on this list, doesn't necessarily mean the same thing. Wild doesn't mean alkaline per se.
Okay, so the word alkaline means the abbreviation pH, potential of hydrogen. The potential of hydrogen in every single plant that is natural is going to be above 7.1. 7 is neutral, 7.1 is alkaline. Anything below 6.9, anything that's 6.9 or below is acid. Everything that Mother Nature creates is alkaline because it resonates on 7.1 and over.
I agree with
Anything that
you.
man makes has to vibrate below 6.9 because it's unnatural.
But
Anything
is it true though? Is it true though that the alkalinity of any hybrid or man-made food is truly
below,
below 7 point?
yes, I'll put my life on that. 100%.
Okay, Mikhail, we would love your
100 million
perspective on that.
percent. 1,000,000%.
That's where we need Mikhail's perspective. So if we can give him a chance and go up, yeah,
Listen,
Mikhail, you got
brother,
that.
the floor is yours, my bro. Take it away.
Listening to this conversation makes me understand how Catholicism still exists, even though it makes no sense whatsoever. People believe whatever they feel because information means nothing anymore. But what I will say to what you just said, because you said the cow wasn't made by nature, it was a graft. And I think you're absolutely right. But what you can't do is you cannot say that the psilocybin mushroom that grows out of the genetically modified cow is not natural or harmful. It's a gift from God. That is actually the thing that your grandfather used for a lot of his healing cases to help them get over the trauma, the rape, the pain in their life. So what I will say is, I think what everybody needs to understand, all of us, is that everything in the universe wants to be balanced, and that life, you think that balance is 7.0 on everything that's natural, but what about the lime? The lime isn't alkaline. You can't say, if you take and do a pH test of the lime isn't alkaline, man. But it has properties that allow for alkalinity because it donates electricity. It donates ions to the body because of its high carbon or vitamin C content. So, like at the end of the day, we're all doing the same. We're all wanting the same thing. We want to help people. So it's like what we're trying to do is create the language where there's no more conflict. Because when all of us are on this live and we're here and people, you got your special people on there commenting what they're commenting, and they just don't know and they want to learn. They can't see us arguing, man. They can't see us going around in circles, because that's exactly what the people that control the world want. Like at the end of the day, understanding that how electricity is generated from the body is beyond potential hydrogen. It's beyond something just being labeled alkaline. It's knowing your body has essential fatty acids it needs. It needs water. It needs hydrogen. It needs oxygen. It needs carbon. It needs nitrogen. It needs the diverse spectrum of minerals so that all of the cells in the body can replicate themselves based off of the specialization. It needs diversity. Just like how the world needs each of us to do what we do so that they can get to the next step. Everywhere inside of our bodies require that diversity. And where we disconnect, my brother Ecom, is that we're not agreeing that some of the things that aren't titled alkaline still need to be used if people are going to maintain balance in their lives. It's not practical for people to want to try to get someone from Jamaica or somewhere from the Caribbean to import red apples. Those red apples are going to spoil. If you can get them and grow them in your area, gracias a Dios, giving thanks to the Most High. But if you can't, then guess what? You can still eat things that aren't on that list and still maintain health. And why? Because it's about electricity. Are you getting the nutrients? If you can't get the minerals from your food, then you can take them through the products that each of us offer. But the most important thing people need to understand is life is based upon electricity. And the reason why my grandfather could live to 100 years old and eat rice, white rice and beans and chicken and drink coffee and drink pet milk it's because of how he lived. If you go right now, and we could do this, I'll do a whole presentation on this because I did this in something else. You look up all the people that were proponents of raw vegan, plant-based, Arnold Ehret, look up all of them. Look up how long they lived. Some of them you could say got knocked off. Granted, look at the ones that lived to a ripe age. They didn't break 100, man, at all. And that's not because they didn't know. That's because there's more to know. Even though we know what we know, there's always more, brother, sister, family. No one's an island, but when we begin to see things beyond the titles or referring to books, when we begin to look at the things that are unseen and know how those things navigate, when you understand electricity, magnetism, vibration, and all the different forms of light and how they manifest here on earth, then you begin to have a better understanding of yourself and how to live. I know people that live healthy as a mofo and they eat nothing on the alkaline food list because they're still getting their minerals. They're still drinking their water. They're breathing good. They're feeling good. They make love to every moment of life. And so you feel that energy coming off of them, right? They're not in a fight. There ain't no damn fight. They said, like Billy Carson say, there's 7 billion people in the world being controlled by 100 men. The only reason why they're able to do that is because we can't come to an agreement. Period. We can't come to realize, hey, you know what? Let's get to the root, not the name of what the food is. Let's get beyond that. So, you know, I'm all for whatever people want to believe, they're gonna believe. But I brought this conversation up because there's a lot of people that eat food from the alkaline diet and they stay there doing that, and then they are not they hair starts falling out, their energy starts getting low, and that's all because nobody told them, hey, you also need to make sure that you get omega-3s because that's necessary inside of your mitochondrial membrane wall so that ATP is created. Hey, you
What
also
plant is omega-3 from?
we also need to get amino acids that you don't always get from these sources because even though you can have what's a good food on the alkaline list? What's a list of good food? What's the best greens on the alkaline list?
Callaloo.
How much people have access to callaloo?
Ekong, do you think that it's sustainable for like someone living in the US to fully embody an alkaline lifestyle to the way that it like should be done?
Okay, sisters, brothers, we have to all understand, yeah, that the world is the way the world is for a reason. You are healthy, you are sick, you are happy, you are sad for a reason. Okay? If you can't get access to alkaline foods, like I tell people all the time, do your best with what you know and do your best with what you have.
Boom.
I'm not going to tell somebody not to eat because there's no alkaline foods around. I'm not going to tell you to do that. Now, that doesn't mean I am recommending you to go and eat those foods, because if it was me, I wouldn't. Every person is different. Everyone that says they do the alkaline lifestyle and they feel weak and they feel drowsy and they're passing out, I don't listen to nobody, because I need to be with you every day. I need you to wake up beside me, go to sleep beside me. I want to see what you're drinking in the morning. I want to see what you're eating in the afternoon. I want to see what you're addicted to. I want to follow you every single day for 2 weeks, and then I'll let you know if you've been doing the alkaline lifestyle correctly or not. So when someone comes to me and says, oh, Ekong, I tried the alkaline lifestyle and it wasn't really for me, I feel, how do I know you was doing it correctly? And I would be a fool if I believed you. I would be a fool. I can't even give you no advice. All I can tell you is do better, because you know your best. I don't know your best. Only you know your best. So to answer your question, if you're living in the US and you can't gain access to some of the alkaline foods, you can't gain access to it, period. But are there people in the US that are living a full alkaline lifestyle? Yes, there are. I'm not saying it's impossible, because many are doing it. So maybe you need to do what the birds do and the animals do. Go to where your food is at. Go to where your food is at. And if you can't afford to go to where your food is at, unfortunately, you have to stay where you are and do what you're doing. Because, like, look, this is what I tell people all the time. You see whether you've got billions of pounds in your bank account. You see whether you've got hundreds of pounds in your bank account. You see whether you've got only one leg. You see if you don't have a uterus and you had a hysterectomy. You see if you're a blind man. Whoever you are and whatever your social status, no matter how many followers you have on Instagram, no matter how scary you are, guess what? You need alkaline foods, also known as electric foods. If you're low on calcium, I don't care who you are, Michael Jordan or a homeless man, you're going to suffer from osteoporosis, rickets, all kinds of things. So my point is this: regardless of who you are out there, just try your best to go and eat some alkaline foods as much as possible, please. Because at the end of the day, you need it. No matter where you are, who you are, what you're doing. And don't worry about who to believe. Follow your heart. Okay? If God wants you, if the creator wants you to follow this guy, this woman, this book, this land, wherever it is, that's what you're going to follow because that's what you resonate on. Some people are resonating on my frequency right now. Some people are resonating on my brother's frequency here right now. Some people's frequencies of another brother right now. Whoever's frequency you're vibrating on, that is the frequency that you're supposed to be vibrating on. Guess what? You could change your frequency in 5 seconds. You can change your frequency in 5 years. You can change your frequency in 5 months. It doesn't matter. You can change what you know today to something different tomorrow. So don't think like, oh, there's so many alkaline gurus out there and people that say this and that. Econ, I don't know who to listen to and I don't know who to follow. What do I do? Follow your heart. Whatever your heart is resonating with, follow that. Because I promise you, every human being, white, black, Chinese, Inuit, tall, short, rich, poor, you can genuinely see and hear who is for you and who is against you. It is in their face, it is in their voice, it is in how impactful they are, it is in their value, it is in their character, it is in every single molecule in their being. You will be able to know, my brothers and sisters. So don't ignore it. Don't ignore your instincts. Follow your instincts. Okay?
Exactly what you just said. It almost sounds like you guys this conversation started as if you both were on different extremes, right? However, right now you're articulating very clearly that like we all want to resonate with whoever's energy is presented in front of us. That's the one thing that you both agree on 100%. The next thing you both agree on 100% is the body technically needs to trend more electrical, more high electron foods, which in this case is the word alkaline, to find healing and balance in the body. You both agree on that 100%. And for some reason, the conversation sounded like it was coming from two extremes. And I'm seeing the comments, and I was watching before I even came on. I see the comments that everybody thinks this conversation was going around in circles, but y'all were almost thinking that you disagreed on these certain two heavy-hitting topics, when you do agree.
Yeah, we're just using different language, so all is revealed. That's it. And it's only conversation. Hey, eat foods that donate electricity to the body as much as you can. Of course,
Definitely.
foods that have water in them are always going to be more electrically conducive because 75% of our body is water. Period. So after that, there's nothing more that needs to be said. People just need to continue to do the best that they can, right? If you know, and don't get so caught up in the extremism. But that's how people are. Some people just see things and they're extreme. So they're gonna do it in an extreme way. And then they're gonna learn that they need balance. That's all. At the end of the day, I like what my brother said, man. You know, like follow your heart. You know, a lot of y'all who you may or may not know me, but that's why I tell y'all all the time, man. Follow your heart. Sometimes you might land on your ass, but if you learn and you continue to follow it, then you're gonna get exactly where you need to be. Because at the end of the day, everyone's gonna learn balance. It don't matter what you title, whatever you want to title, or believe what you want to believe. We're gonna continue to learn. as long as we're open to it. So, yo, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I'm with it.
All right.
If anybody have any more questions, I think we're good because we came to an agreement, and that's all that needed to be done.
But I definitely will still forever to the day I die say turmeric is garbage, and garlic is garbage, sugar cane is garbage, peanuts is garbage, ackee is garbage, jackfruit is garbage. You know, like all of the yams, potatoes, like
Yams,
sweet potato garbage. You see all of that, brother. Let me tell you what I'm going
yo,
for them things there. You
boss
see them
man.
thing there in Jamaica, yeah. You know what they use the yam to do? They use the yam. They take out the starch from the yam, and they use the starch to harden their school clothes so it can be hard like rock. Now, a man wants to tell me to put that in my soft belly to harden my
So let
organs,
me
and you're telling
ask you
me
a
that
question.
that's a natural plant?
So
Come
let me
on, bro.
ask you a question. Let
Don't.
me ask you a question. And with this question is just I just gonna leave it. With any fruit that you eat, if you eat it before it's ripe, what is that?
Harmful
Because it's what?
because it's not right.
What is it exactly when it's not ripe?
It's high in unnatural sugars. The sugar's not ready yet to be broken down in the body
It's
when it is ripe.
it's an unprocessed starch. So if you cook down a sweet potato, you
Yeah.
know exactly what the oxygen does to a fruit as it's ripening, and it becomes bioavailable. So of course you're not going to eat the yam or the sweet potato hot. Like, you got to be a lunatic to do that, or just really want to get some anger out. But if you cook it down, brother,
Bro, if you cook down soybeans and you eat that, that's still gonna mash you up. If you cook down anything, look, G in, G out, garbage in, garbage out. That's like telling me if I eat carrots cooked is better than eating carrots raw. No, carrots is gonna give you starch whether you cook it or eat it raw. But if you eat papaya or you eat fonio or you eat what they call it, amaranth, whether you eat that raw or cooked, that's still going to give you electric resonance because that's alkaline, that's electrical. You get me? That's biodegradable. The things that are not alkaline are the things that cannot be broken down in the human body. Things like, for example, let me show you a good way for people to learn how to know if something's natural or not. Go and get 10, 15, 20 sweet potato, yam, cassava. Go get all the things that are unnatural, breadfruit, put it in a fire, right? Put it in a fire. I promise you, no matter how long those things burn in the fire for, they're always going to remain rock hard like a stone. You know why? Because Mother Nature only destroys that which is alkaline. So me and you, if we die and someone decides to cremate us, turn us into ashes, it will take approximately less than 1 hour to turn our bodies into ashes. And do you know why the body turns into ashes? Because the body was created by the creator. Just like if you put papaya, if you put quinoa, if you put turmeric, any of the plants that God made turns to ashes, and any of the plants that man made does not turn to ashes. Go and try it yourself. It's an experiment. This is what I'm going to leave you guys to go and do. Try it yourself. The things that nature makes, if you put it in a fire, they turn to ashes. The things that nature did not make never turn to ashes, my brothers and sisters. That's a jewel I'm going to leave with you today. My brother, it was a pleasure talking to you. I wish you
likewise,
nothing but abundance in your life, and make sure you keep on adding value to people's lives where you see fit.
see him, brother. Thank you for being present, man, and speaking what you speak. At the end of the day, like you say, people are gonna go to where they resonate at, and life will teach you as long as you follow your heart and love. Because that's at the end of the
100%.
day, that's all that matter, man.
Brother,
Everything else don't really matter, man. And you could live to 100 years of age, but if you don't have love in your heart, then what was your life?
definitely.
So, hey, man, we might not agree on everything, but that's not important. It's all one love, and maybe one day we I don't know if you've seen Nico's retreat, man, but I think I want to check that out. Maybe we could pull our vibe there.
Say no more, my brother.
Hey, man,
Take care of yourself, yeah?
one
Respect.
love. All right, fam. You guys got it. I don't understand these people. Man, not supposed to wear braids. Look, y'all. At the end of the day, I want to say thank each and all of you for being here. If this has left you with questions, then at the end of the day, listen to your heart, get rid of all the noise, and just reflect. Whatever resonates with you, run with it. He said, if I'm good, I'm extremely good. Nothing that was said by anybody here. No negativity about braids or what this guy's saying. You got to realize that, man, most people are where they're at, and wherever they're at, what you give to another person is what you give to yourself. So what other people spew out of their mouths is how they actually think about themselves and how they judge themselves. So there's no negativity from anybody here that I receive. People are just hostile because the world is hostile. And whether or not you think my brother E. Kong smashed it, or Tori or I smashed it, at the end of the day, I hope that you learned something, because when it comes down to it, you can stick to the food list as well as you can, and you'll find out what you'll find out, At the end of the day, the truth is inevitable. Balance is the key to maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And stressing about what you eat, is the stress of it will kill you sooner than the toxic acid food. Now that might go over a lot of y'all heads, but when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So with that being said, left you with questions. If you guys have questions, you can send them to me. Text the number in my bio if you want more notifications. I'm going to be having these talks with a lot more people because there's a lot of people that are spewing the same thing. And in the spirit of community and unity, I'm going to be going after anybody that has a decent following and really believes what they're teaching, because y'all need to be able to see. You're going to see a common denominator, right? Flexibility in life, flexibility in thinking, flexibility in all things that we do is the key. Not being rigid, right? Like Bruce Lee said, the water has to flow. Flowing water never grows stale, and if water is still, it grows bacteria. So that's the key. Just stay in flow. And text the number. I'm gonna let y'all know when we're gonna do the next live. I think I'm gonna go after Alkaline Jungle next to see him, and we're probably gonna need a moderator too, because that's a lot of Caribbean energy on the live then, right? So let's see here. I'm gonna end the live and then we'll go from there. Yeah, Yak 19 Keys isn't on the field of work. Y'all are funny. Yeah, I'd love to talk to Yaki Awaken about raw food, because again, things that you think are necessary are not necessary at all. Anyway, thank you for coming, fam. One love. Talk soon. Peace.